Hello everyone, I'm Stasi. Thank you so much for stopping by. I like to crochet things that make me feel happy when I look at them, so if you like that too, then like this video and subscribe so we can have some more crochet tutorials and we can be one big happy crochet fam. Thank you so much again for watching this video, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day today. Today I'm sharing with you how I made this vintage looking placemat and silverware holder. These look like they belong in your grandma's house and I love it. They're super easy to make and would be the perfect addition to any dinner party. This is a beginner friendly pattern, so anyone should be able to make it. I used this acrylic worsted weight yarn because that's what I already had, but cotton yarn might work better if you need to wash these. And then a 5mm crochet hook, a yarn needle, scissors, and some ribbon. Our starting chain is going to go across the width of your silverware. Start by making a slip knot. To do this, just grab your yarn, twist it around your finger, reach through the hole, grab your yarn, and pull up. Now insert your hook and pull that loop tight. Chain 14. To do this, just grab your yarn with your hook and pull it through the loop. Now that we have the width of the silverware holder, we're going to start working up. For row 1, in the second chain from the hook, there's your first chain and there's your second. So in this loop right here, you're going to make a slip stitch. So insert your hook into the loop, grab your yarn, and then pull it through that loop. And that is a slip stitch. In the next chain, which is going to be right here, make a half double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull your yarn through, and then you're going to grab your yarn and pull through all 3 of those loops. In the next chain, make another slip stitch. And then in the next chain, make another half double crochet. Repeat those 2 stitches all the way across the chain for your first row. So you're just going to keep repeating a slip stitch and then a half double crochet, and then I'll meet you down at the end of the row. Here we are at the end of the row and we're going to make our last slip stitch. The end of every single row is going to have a slip stitch and the beginning of every single row is going to start with a slip stitch. So chain 1 and then turn your work. Slip stitch into the very first space, so you'll see that it's right here. So that's where you're going to stick your hook. So slip stitch. And then do a half double crochet in the next space. And continue that pattern all the way across row 2. So do a slip stitch, and then half double crochet. Once you've completed each row, make sure you chain 1 and then turn your work. Keep repeating that same pattern until your work is as tall as your silverware. Mine is 38 rows long. Also, this little guy has been a lifesaver for me. It basically just keeps count of your rows for you, so you just have to hit a button at the end of the row and then you don't have to worry about losing count. Once your work is as tall as your silverware or 38 rows long, you can go ahead and cut your yarn and fasten off. Now we're going to make the front of it, so do the same exact thing, but it's only going to come up to about here, so you're only going to need 25 rows of this one. So make a slip knot. Chain 14. In the second chain from your hook, make a slip stitch. And then in the next space, do a half double crochet. And then just repeat that sequence again until you have 25 rows. Now we're going to start making our shell border, so switch colors if that's what you would like to do, and we're going to work across the top of that right there. Attach your yarn to the top corner of your shorter piece. Chain 1. I like to work over top of this tail so that I don't have to weave that one in later. But now you're going to skip 2 spaces. So here's your first one, second one, and then we're going to work in this third space right here. We're going to make 5 double crochets in that third space. So to do that, yarn over, insert your hook, grab your yarn and pull it through, yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through the second 2 loops. That's your first double crochet, so now make 4 more in that same space. Now you're going to skip 2 spaces, so skip those 2 and then single crochet in this third space right here. I messed up and did a slip stitch here instead of a single crochet, and I didn't catch it until editing, but I was supposed to do a single crochet there, so you could do either, honestly, doesn't matter. Now just skip your next 2 spaces and work in the third space and do another 5 double crochets. And then skip 2 spaces and single crochet in the third space over, which is going to be the very corner space. Now you can cut your yarn and fasten off. And now we're going to be working around the border of the 2 of them. So you're going to line them up and then work through the 2 of them to join them together. Insert your hook into the very corner stitch on both of those, so go through both of them and then reattach your yarn. chain 1, just like before, we're going to skip 2 spaces and then work in that third space right there. So go ahead and do 5 double crochets in that third space. Skip 2 spaces and then single crochet in that third space. Right now I'm just tying that pink strand to the white one so that it's nice and secure. Now just keep repeating that shell stitch border all the way across. So skip 2 spaces, work in the third space doing 5 double crochets, skip 2 spaces, and then single crochet. I'm at the top now and I don't have enough stitches to do a full shell stitch. So instead of skipping 2 and working in the third, I'm just going to skip 1 and work in the second space. I'm still going to do 5 double crochets and then just do your single crochet in the corner stitch, which is 2 over instead of 3. As you can see here, I did another slip stitch instead of single crochet. I don't know why I kept doing that, but just keep on working right around the corner there. So skip 2 spaces and then work in your third, and just keep working all the way around the border. Once you've made it all the way around, just cut your yarn and fasten off. And now just weave in all of your ends. And now for mine, the last step is to add a ribbon, of course. You could always just use your yarn to make this as well if you wanted to do that. And here we have the cutest thing I've ever seen. For the placemat, make a slip knot and chain 50. Once you've chained 50, your pattern for the placemat is going to be exactly the same as the silverware holder. So you're going to slip stitch into the second chain from the hook right here. And then do a half double crochet in the next stitch and repeat that all the way across your chain. So slip stitch in the next space and then half double crochet in the next space. Chain 1 and then turn your work. And continue the same pattern across this row. So do a slip stitch in that very first space and then do a half double crochet in the next space. Continue to repeat this until you have a total of 47 rows. Here is what it should look like after 47 rows. Now go ahead and cut your yarn and fasten off. Now insert your hook into the corner and with your other color for the border, go ahead and attach that. Chain 1. And then you can work over your tail right here. But just like before, you're going to skip 2 spaces and then work in that third space. So do 5 double crochets in that same space for your shell stitch. Now skip the next 2 spaces and work a single crochet in the third space. And just keep repeating that all the way around all 4 sides. So skip 2 spaces and then in the third space work 5 double crochets and then skip 2 spaces and work a single crochet. Once you've made it all the way around, just cut your yarn and fasten off. And now just weave in any ends that you have. And now just take your ribbon and tie a bow in the corner. And now you are all finished. I hope you guys enjoyed my tutorial. Make sure you subscribe so you get more free crochet patterns. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!